Welcome back. Welcome to another episode of Nain Shorts. I hope everyone's been all right. We've been having some fun with training lately, and as I've done before, I've shared some of the things that we've learned and done in class, but you've never actually seen it. So today we're doing something a little special. We're actually going to show you the class we just had. And it was incredibly interesting, and folks, it was a lot of fun. And watching the whole thing, see if you can notice when we forget that there's a camera there at all, because that's just how involved we began to get in what we were doing, that I honestly forgot that we were filming the whole time. And keep in mind, it's not the entirety of the class, but it's a good portion of it. And I want to get you guys' reaction to it. What do you guys think? Is it something that could be useful for you guys in the future for your class, in your teachings? Now, uh, the premise of the class itself was to start off with a very simple movement. Start off by Rico. This is what I'm showing you. And then ask the other two. There was only three of us in the class at that given time, and it could be anywhere from three to however many students you have, depending on the time that you have available, of course. But for us, it was just three students, Eric, Rico, myself. And in this particular case, we do add Rico as a student, and in no disrespectful way whatsoever, but because he doesn't bring any ego to the equation about being our instructor, but rather he showed us respect by allowing us to express our own ideas and our own thoughts. We've often said that the student is the most important person in that room, and we personified that idea by giving each one of us the stage and the front to be able to give our interpretation of what was going on, of that particular move. And that's where it really started to shine, where each of us were able to interpret what was happening based on the lessons that we've had, based on whatever level we happen to be in at that particular time, and really give a why, an explanation as to the reason we would see things that way. And while the two people involved in the exercise itself were thinking of both sides of the fight, the third person was able to actually see it in real time, what was going on, and formulate their own ideas based on that information. And we were able to take away a lot of golden nuggets of concepts and why we would go about doing something, and even modify why we would do something based on the information we got from somebody else. For example, because of height, Eric being taller than us cannot do the same things. Rico is slightly shorter, but also has a lot of injuries. So all those aspects played into why they did what they did. And for me, I was able to understand the reasoning behind that, and I got a clear picture, and even communication became a bit clearer because I know why he would say what he said, why he would do what he did. So it got me to think, well, would that work for me? Could I accomplish the same goal using the same mechanics, or what modifications would I have to do? I was even able to figure out what modifications Eric would have to do to accomplish the same task or the same movements that Rick and I were able to do against each other because of the similar height. So all these things played very well together, and it was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please tell me what you think, and yeah, let me know. We're just bullshitting, pretty much. No, we start off with a simple idea, a simple movement that really doesn't mean any more than what the other person interprets. And from that interpretation, we then share the ideas and thoughts that we have about the movement and what it could become, how it could be countered, how it could become something else, why one person would and the other person wouldn't do things depending on body, on size, or even ideas that they have in their own personalities. And we share, and in the process of doing so, we've had some really cool epiphanies, or at least I have. I don't know about you guys. He just, never mind, he doesn't count. we have had really good ideas for our own development, and even just now, really just kind of stumbled upon this concept of changing your plane, your height, depending on the mechanics, to achieve what somebody shorter than you would be able to accomplish against a taller opponent when somebody is naturally taller. But whether or not that's a skill set you want to develop is dependent on your individual taste, but it's a great teaching tool to be able to then share that information to someone who is physically different than you, so they can still accomplish the same thing or not accomplish the same thing and have to change it so it works for their.
So now let's hear from my other colleague, newly black belted Eric. Eric, what do we do? What do you see as what we're doing?
All of that.
All of it.
Plus cheese.
I'm going to probably repeat some of this, but what I'm saying is we're taking a basic strike or something that somebody would do. We're not starting this with trying to look artistic or complex. Because we know the body moves certain ways, we tend to see certain strikes over and over again. They'll come up, whether it's a skilled person or an unskilled person. So we start as that as our basis. If something comes in, we freeze frame it for a second, and we would go around taking turns seeing how would you respond to that?
Show me an example.
Is that effective? What would happen if they countered? What's your follow-up? And then each of us, because of our different ways of thinking, our different body types and all, come up with different things, and we get to learn from each other. We have different insights. Some of these things work better than others. Some of them may not work at all. But the idea is for the person, or maybe not at all for anybody. Potentially.
If we poke enough holes.
Yeah. So, but in that process, it's not about trying to outdo each other. We're sharing. We're learning from each other. We're helping each other, and that's the fun of this. It's a meeting of the mind and an exploration.
Right, so show me an example. What do you guys mean? You guys
Right,
do the moving.
Basic strike.
All right, so he does that. That's what I have to deal with, and then let's see what I do. So my inclination was to get off the line, get my head off the line a little bit, try to stop this.
Now, hold on, folks. Just see this because he catches the puño with his arm. This is important and significant to mention because.
And then I've got a strike coming. You can probably see the blade here coming to the neck. So that's with a very willing person. Is that effective? Probably, I would say so. But maybe Nain doesn't want that to happen. Maybe he does. So we can look at it whether he does or doesn't, or just maybe what my follow-up is.
So now I come in.
Yeah.
And we just say, I go, and this is what Eric came up with. But how am I looking at that? I might come up here. Because again, I have distance from him. I'm not so deep inside that if something were to change, I'd have time to react to it. So when I see this, I'm here, and I'll probably come down or whatever I do. But for me, as far as what Eric was doing earlier is to come out here, I'm not so comfortable with that. I like to be more preemptive and take the whole arm right away. But look, I still got that because I understand the value of hooking that. Because if I want, I would just put it in and create that and do whatever and come up straight across. But again, that's how I would look at it. Now, Nain looks at it and what does he do? Right?
Because I was looking at it from the perspective of the person attacking. So even the idea of how quickly you get to that becomes important. Because my first thought was, wait, at any given point at this plane, before I get any sort of, if you pull back, or like we do with our angle one, follow the angle. That becomes a lot harder for me to actually do it.
Right, so you notice he said from his side because he was the attacker from the start. So he's looking at it differently right off the bat.
Because this, I can step in.
And that's down here somewhere.
And there's the hook, right. So to me, this makes a lot more sense because I want to get this extended. I want to get this out of the way before that hand could even engage. Take anything out I possibly can, and the hand just becomes another target as I move along.
This is so cool.
And I wouldn't necessarily stop there, but for purposes of the progression we're talking about.
Right.
Because that is so much there that I'm not doing the same way you guys are. I'm at my own level, but I feel that.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing this, I might as well be twisting my whole body.
Right.
And in that, I've got a takedown.
And the reality is, real quick, because he's also taller and bigger,
Yeah.
he doesn't necessarily have to go in the way we did.
Yeah.
His idea of this is much more logical for him.
Right. Because the weight of the drop from here to here is so much more than somebody at my level.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've got this just
Oh,
my
yeah.
body.
And there is so much more torque. I know
Oh,
he's dropping.
God, yeah.
Right?
And then I've got you right
Look
in
at the
front of
height
me.
from here to here, and
Yeah.
then yeah. So I wouldn't be able to pull this off.
But for
maybe
me,
if
that's
I
my
fought a
first thing.
midget.
Is I get you down here and that's it.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
But
you-
it doesn't mean that there aren't other options for things
Right,
that we
because
can
even
do,
if you
because
could-
I could do something like
Right.
this and then come in. There's, whatever other things are around.
Right. And then that's what I was saying is that because from here, right,
Yeah,
see,
so
that
that.
trap. You missed the camera.
That's okay. So this is okay.
But that's the fun of it. It gets us all excited and talking. You can see us. We're just thrilled.
So
and
let's
joking.
try that again with a different strike. Eric, you initiate a strike, and Nain will take care of it. See where we got,
Okay.
and we'll all jump in and give our own piece.
Well, okay.
So that's the strike, right? Ah ha ha.
Right, because I don't want to take care of that arm at all, and I use my whole body to brace.
Right. So what are we looking at when we see
Right.
that then, right? Because that's a fucking clear-cut thing. That's almost like, there's not a lot you can do against that.
Oh, in the process that we were having just now, like he was saying, he went direct to his strength of the leveraging that he has. So I'm like, okay, against somebody bigger than me, I don't have that necessarily, unless I get to the inside, which I understand why you do the way that you do.
Right.
I don't feel like I'm skilled enough to do what he does just yet. So I feel like ending the whole thing in the first move makes more sense to me.
Right. Now let me ask you this: that cut into the femur like that, does that end?
Not right away.
Right. 10 minutes.
Right. right.
Depending how much his heart flows or whatever.
Yeah.
It could increase or decrease.
If he's like a Zen master, he's just like,
Yeah.
just a little flesh wound.
but again, so
Right. Where do you go from there?
at that point, there has to be a follow-up
Yeah.
that indicates, because a lot of times when we get caught, we don't even feel that we got caught.
Oh yeah.
So his brain is still triggered and still going to do what he's going to do.
Oh, so
Right?
now I'm actually curious now. I
Yeah, so
wanna
where
see
would
some-
he take
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that's exactly what I want to see. So can we go back to that and then
So it comes there.
here, right? Where would you go?
Yeah, I don't think I could get away from that. First
No,
of all,
but
I think that's
You're
happening.
still alive,
Yeah, and I don't. So we're saying I've got the adrenaline going. I
right?
can
You're
feel
still
it.
fighting this. I mean, unless I poke and drop.
Yeah.
you,
So all right. So it's
so
there.
It's just that cut.
So
yeah.
I'm at this point. I'm thinking I'm coming in,
Ooh, nice.
and then I continue through with my body.
Yeah, since you're cut
I've
already.
got your body. I can come here.
Right.
I can come here, come back, and if I want, I can try to drop you since I've got your arm. But if I hit you here,
Right.
you're probably bending over, and then I've got a hit or whatever there, kicks and things.
Right.
And then the tourniquet.
My turn. Right? So he goes to give me that cut. I come up here. I have to understand that there's going to be a blade there. Especially since where was his blade? It was right there.
So you are preemptive, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at this and I see that bang! I go right into the guy's face because I understand. Because of where his knife was when I'm watching him, when I'm looking at this guy, I see that and I have to understand. Boom! I'm coming here. He blocks it. That's cool. But what do I still have? I step back. Right now, his block is irrelevant, right? Because now I'm just. And again, I like to. Although I like going in as close as I can, but I understand the value
Of
of coming out.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Because we touched on this earlier, the idea. Remember we were doing the first strike that we did with hip, right, to the leg, and again we realized that okay, you don't see the weapon, they're coming towards you, they're probably going for your lower limbs.
And that's why I was up.
See, that's an awareness I didn't have until this discussion started.
Right.
To me, it was such a, oh, the blade's there.
Right.
I didn't see it, I'm done.
Well, and also I think the way that we presented it was already under the idea that that happened.
Yeah.
And your response
Okay.
was to that. He took it a step further and he was like, screw that, I don't want to get cut.
Right? And again, we have to look at what he's giving me, what I'm giving him, how am I seeing it, and how what is his thought about it. And I have to, and when I know, oh, the blade is down, most likely, right?
Question though. Does that change then the parameter that you're the attacker? Right? Because that was my response to his attack. So now we're delving into the idea of I'm going to give you this,
Right.
so you give me that.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Ah, okay.
Because understanding what is going on both sides of it,
Right.
because we 360 the idea. That's why I'm looking at that already. I'm like, okay, you took care of that. Your next thing is to do that. But
Awesome.
I'll do this,
Right.
right? No matter where this is, I'm going to come around and take care of what I understand to be
Right, because even
with his
his
weapon.
change of the
Right.
angle here,
Boom,
I'm
right.
giving you that.
Yeah, and there it is, right? So you guys have got to, again, keep in mind the 360 ideas. You know, we always have this thing with the lights, right? This is the light. Anywhere where the light is not, that's your target. So when I see things, I go, oh, the light came down here. That's okay, I got all
That's
this.
everything else.
I got all this target. That's why I went to where I went, right? Cool. Who's next? Somebody come up with
Okay.
initial. Oh, your turn.
It's late.
Me? I'd come up with an attack.
No,
Oh, whatever you
I
want.
come up with an attack.
Okay.
And then you
Yeah,
have
and
to
then you have to
defend.
respond to it. Because I've become very fond of this attack. Alright, there you go.
Now, is that similar to what we just discussed?
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't even think it's that powerful.
Well, it
It's just what happened.
well, right now. And I guess this is the fun part of the discussion is, would that have come out prior to what we just did?
Right. Would that have been a thought?
Right.
Right.
Because to me, this feels like a combination of pretty much everything we've been doing so far.
It's possible my
Right.
brain's sucking it up and.
Well, yeah, I mean, because it brings up an interesting point about what it is that comes out, and there's always been this whole thing with in the martial arts about, oh, what you practice most, that's what comes out. Okay, well, what if those habits are practicing to miss, practicing to only strike when you know what that other strike is, what the person's giving you? So does that mean that that's what's going to happen in real life? And I think we just kind of demonstrated that what we're practicing isn't physical movements, but it's understanding of our space, our own ideas, and whatever physicality we have, we use it to our advantage. You stepped back, but you didn't really go very far, and you still kept within your own range.
Yes, but what I felt was missing there
Yeah.
was I only bought myself time.
Yeah.
I didn't do any real damage to you.
Oh, you took
I
the
cut a
fingers.
couple fingers.
Yeah.
What is that gonna no.
Right.
That's
I
more
will
than
never
use
use
at that point, right? You still got your main weapon and you've got everything else going. Again, you may not have felt it.
So,
You might look down like that's
fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, the adrenaline, everything's running. I saw two dudes fight with a machete. One of them lost an arm, and a hand, and he was still swinging his machete. Yeah, it was a messed up video. It really is. Two, like, I think Asians or Jamaicans.
Yeah, those guys are crazy.
No, but they were just hacking at each other, and at one point you see what we would call the seven, and you see his hand just, and it not so much cleanly cut off as there's still like a bit of flesh. So while he was flailing about with his, it popped off, and he actually went to pick up his hand afterwards. Yeah, it was a bizarre thing.
So-
But as you moved into and did your thing, right? That's hard to remember what you did,
yeah,
right?
I think I did this.
Right? 'Cause
I'm sorry.
yeah, you
Your hand
moved
was
this
like-
way, yeah. And you parried, right? Now, did you reach the hand or did you parry the back of the blade?
I don't know what
Oh, that,
I did
yeah.
that? All right.
Yeah.
Glad you remember.
Because again, it's the feeling of what I felt happening. Because I'm trying to stab you, there you go. Good. So, what would be better placement then if you feel like that wasn't sufficient? would stepping back be necessarily the best thing?
No. Oh, well, I haven't had a lot of experience with
Right.
those strikes coming at me, so my tendency is to get it away.
Right.
So that's a lot of what you saw.
So what worked?
If I go to that side, I'm thinking,
Okay. Well, no, I meant like the same move.
oh, okay.
Because what you did is that you bladed, because that's a natural thing that you've learned in the past, trying to get out of the way. So if you were striking me, I would blade towards you instead of away from you.
Yeah, you were stepping back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better.
So if you're giving me that,
It's basically the same thing, but going forward.
exact, because then you would be working with different space. Because if you're it says from a step here. Now I have this to work. 'Cause I'm here, so whatever you come up with, I can then either take control of this. I don't necessarily have to kill you, but that pressure alone, and then just take the arm.
Yeah.
So again, now we're talking about
So the attack was what again?
it's just a thrust, yeah.
Forward thrust, right?
So
I'm coming at you, right, and you're defending it the way you do.
the way,
Yeah, so
Well,
these
whatever you do, right? Whatever you defend is that comes
I'm sorry.
right? And that's
Oh, that
fine.
changed.
That changed significantly.
Well, part of it is,
But
honestly, your arm is down.
I've been looking.
It's not as long.
Right,
His arms are giving me more to deal with.
right.
And I also learned from our discussion.
So, folks, I did that purposely
Oh, really?
because I wanted to see. Again, remember how I look at things. I look at everything, 360 the ideas, see what's going on. I would never attack like this, obviously, right?
Right.
But I'm like, and he catches it because again, now we're being so much more cognizant of the conversation we're having
Yeah.
and the ideas, and it's being fed into. So I go here, and you're like, his hand is nowhere to be seen. Let me take advantage and do what I'm going to do.
Yeah, because I came in.
Right.
I was prison style shanking.
Well, and again, this is the idea of this, right? Is now, because of the discussions we've been having, you're looking at things differently all of a sudden. You're seeing so much more, you're more attentive to what's going on. Because had I gone here, you wouldn't do that. Right? I go, because I'm going to do what I do, right? But again, I'm...
Yeah.
and then,
Hey, there's no light over there, man. There's not even a hand over there.
There's no light in here either.
yeah, the light switch is broken.
I'm stepping.
But isn't this great? Look what you saw.
Holy shit.
Right?
Just one little variable switch.
Yeah, and I was doing the same thing, but you saw so much more than you did the first time around when he did it. That's how I got excited. Okay, let me fuck with him. Right? He's like, oh shit, this is some good stuff, Jamie. Because again, we're opening the eyes through everybody else's eyes.
Yeah.
Because now you're seeing through what I see and what he sees and how we're all looking at it differently. And that's why it's such a wonderful idea, as instructors that we can say, okay, here, I got this great idea, let's play this game. Boom, and here we are. Hope you guys enjoy that because this has been a lot of fun for us. We're just like geeking out on this. Your thoughts on this?
I like the way you just phrased it as a game.
Yeah.
Because it is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a non-pressure or low-pressure at least
Yeah.
way of exploring and learning from each other, learning from oneself, and having that opportunity to have willing people to talk with and play with and really advance these applications.
Question.
Oh,
Do you think it's the way that we went about this round robin that eliminated the ego, or we just have worked so hard on eliminating it altogether? Because I feel like that was a huge part of it that we didn't even, or I just noticed it now, is that neither of us felt that we were right or wrong at any given point.
Yeah.
We didn't feel that we were being put down or dismissed by any of our ideas. And it really opened up, like you said, to explore and then expand on our own concepts and each other's concepts because of it.
Yeah, and I think, when I first came up with this, when we first started this, right? My whole thing was we're all going to share an idea, and we're going to look at each other with each other's eyes, and then we're going to explore.
I will say, when you first said it though, I felt that nervousness when he says, okay, teach somebody something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that kind of hit me for a little bit, and I was like, where is he going with this? But I got so excited by the fact that he made it such a simple movement. I was like, I have ideas to that. That I completely forgot that.
Yeah, and it wasn't so much that you were teaching yourself about what you're looking at, what you're actually seeing. And then looking into the eyes of the individual and see what they see and say, oh, I understand why you would look at it that way, or I see why you did that. But here's how I look at it. And then we're just sharing, and there is no ego involved because we start to understand, oh, I see why you're doing what you're doing. I can't do that because I'm so.
Well, part of that also is we are used to each other. We understand, and part of the Blade in Mind atmosphere, the whole culture of us is it's okay to ask, it's okay to explore, it's okay to see what things can become. So it's not some kind of blasphemy for us to say, well, this is how we do it.
Well, I would do it this way.
Yeah, you guys are doing
This
that
works
wrong.
for me, and if you don't do, it's not like that.
Yeah.
We understand it. We can learn from each other, and for us or not, or they need to be modified from your idea. It's worked for me, and we're just trying to learn it.
So what do you take away from all this? You can come up, you look shorter.
That was a lot of fun. Like my brain is still buzzing from all the ideas that kind of popped up, and then being able to see the failure points of my ideas really opened up to the possibility of, okay, I see where my holes are. I see where I can improve, what I can improve on, and even more importantly, how I can help other people improve, because now I understand somebody's taller, somebody who's a little bit shorter, the limitations and why people move the way that they do. Especially these two, like, we've known them for years now, but today I have a really deeper insight on why you like doing things the way that you do, why you like doing things in your own way, and it's less the ideas and more about the constraints of your own body. But then also, how do we overcome those constraints for people that are just don't have the skill sets yet, and how to develop those skill sets.
And how do we get them to look at things in a broader sense rather than in their own personal?
Right.
Right. Stop looking at it just your way. What are they giving you?
Right.
What are you giving them? What do they see? What do you see? Then how do you then make a good, nice little combination of all of those things?
Because I feel it really opened up my mind on how to better teach the individual while still giving general ideas to an entire class.
Yeah. Because this would resonate with everybody, because now it's gonna pique their own curiosity of what they can and can't do. And as to why they could or couldn't do those things.
Right.
Because we all have our little things that, oh, I can't do that because I'm this or that. But then everybody sees that, and we're all sharing it and say, oh, so now when I'm gonna fight a tall guy, I know certain things that he can and can't do.
Right.
And that becomes an advantage to me, knowing, oh, I can attack this way.
So I'm not going to put myself in that situation.
In those positions, right, of what he can and can't do, right? It's
Yes.
like, oh.
I'm not attacking his head anywhere
Yeah.
near the beginning. I'm going to take up your stomach, your legs,
Yeah.
and then the head.
But isn't this great though?
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that.
I don't know who we're talking to.
This is probably going to pop up on your next Nain shorts. I'm going to edit it so that.
Your guys' chemistry is so good, you forget there's another person standing right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know you're there.
You
Right?
guys are like,
Yeah.
Have you noticed we both only look at you? We don't really look at each other.
Yeah, it's true. We're giving you the lesson. The newly
Oh, black belt.
promoted black belt here, Eric, did a wonderful job yesterday.
Yes, he did.
At his promotion. But again, great.
All right. So, thank you for staying through the end. I know it's a bit of a longer video this time around, but honestly, we just were so involved in what we were doing that, again, we forgot the camera was there altogether. But it was a great experience and something that we will continue doing with other students. And it really didn't matter what we were using at that particular time. I know we were using sticks and weapons at that point. But the thing about it is that it's less about the tool, because we don't focus specifically on, oh, today we're going to learn how to use this particular tool, and tomorrow we're going to work on a longer. It wasn't about that. It was about how each person formulated their understanding of what was going on. Not about the tool itself, but what you were trying to accomplish. What was your end goal? And when that finally clicked for me, I was able to take the weapon out of the equation, and it was less about the specific weapon and more about what I'm doing in reference to movement, in reference to my opponent, in reference to the 360 idea of being able to stay aware of all the things that are going on, from what targets all of a sudden are open, what movements I can use that are more useful, the mechanics that I can then incorporate into those movements to take the advantage in that particular situation. It even got to a point where it was no longer about the person doing the attack or the person receiving the attack, because normally that's what we do. Somebody gives you a strike, what do? Oh, this and that. The next person, oh, I would do this to that attack. Without realizing it, I started putting myself in the attacker's position. Well, I feed you this and you did that to it. Oh, at what point could I stop your response to my initial attack? And then it went back and forth, so much so that even in my last Kaju class with my fellow black belt, we were able to use that idea where it was a spontaneous reaction drill. He reacted to what was going on, ended the fight, we went back, started with the same opening punch or kick, and then it became a back and forth to see where we ended up with the counter, and we were able to come up with new ideas and concepts on how to apply the other things, the individual pieces, in a chaotic format, in a format where it's not a punch art, it's not a grab art, it doesn't follow the sequence. Oh, but this piece would be perfect right here in this moment. So even though we were using weapons in the video, my head eventually went into, well, how do these movements become empty-handed? What are the differences, the changes that happen because I no longer have a weapon? And would it even work? And if it doesn't, can I make it work? And it became a positive progression of ideas. Instead of a separation of things, I started encompassing all of it together, and my mind still is buzzing over all the ideas that I can come up with, and I can't wait to have a class like this again. So what did you guys think? Good idea? Does it help? Would it be something that you could incorporate into your class? Remembering that it isn't about the individual tools or even the process. It's really about the individual student and what can we learn from them? How can we better understand why they go about doing things? And when we do we have even more ideas on how to progress them further? Because now we truly see their shortcomings, or where they are, or what level, or where their mentality is. What lessons did we miss that could progress them even further? So it's a great learning tool. I had a lot of fun. Eric and Rico did as well. And there was really just 3 guys sharing their own ideas, their own interpretations. And there was a whole lot of learning that happened that I don't know if we can duplicate exactly the same way, but I'm waiting to do it again so we can learn even more about each other and about our own selves. And that's really all we're trying to do in the martial arts, is get better as individuals. And I hope this helps in some way for you and what you do. And thank you for watching. Until the next one, as usual, 3, 2, 1, cut!